100,000 people were dying of drug overdoses a year. That's one every 7 minutes. A child or kid was being raped every 6.5 minutes in this country. And there were 2 homicides an hour in this country. And we have a 38,000 person workforce. And I said, okay, where are the agents? Where are intel analysts? Where is everybody? We got 55 field offices. We got 300 what we call RAs, resident agencies. So satellite offices to field offices in major cities. And they said, well, we've got 11,000 FBI employees in what we call the NCR, the National Capital Region. So if you take D.C. and you do a 50-mile, 60-mile radius around it, 11,000, almost a third of the workforce work there. And they said, what the hell are they doing there? They said, well, they mandated if you want a promotion, if you want to move up, you got to come back here and prioritize stuff here. So I said, look, we're moving agents and intel analysts to the field. And that's what I did. 1,500 people are going to the field because a third of the crime doesn't happen in Washington, D.C. and the 65 miles around it. So where's the root of the problem? The CCP. So the fentanyl precursors, the stuff you need to make fentanyl, comes from mainland China. That's it. Now, I'm sure like 1% of it comes from somewhere else in the world. But that's where it comes. They've got hundreds of companies standing up in mainland China shipping this stuff out into the world. Now, they're like, we don't make fentanyl. They're right. They don't. They just give you all the ingredients for it and ship it to Mexico after fentanyl precursor companies in mainland China. And they're probably not going to like that. And what they're doing now to get cute is they're shipping that stuff not straight to here. They're going to places like India, and I'm also doing operations in India. And they're having the Mexican cartels now make this fentanyl down in Mexico still. But, instead of going right up the southern border and into America, you know what they're doing? They're flying it into Vancouver. They're taking the precursors up to Canada, manufacturing it up there, and doing their global distribution routes from up there because we were being so effective down south. The Chinese, in my opinion, the CCP, have used it as a directed approach because we are their adversary and they don't like us and we don't like what they're doing when it comes to fentanyl. And their long-term game is this. How do I, in my opinion, kneecap the United States of America, our largest adversary? Well, why don't we go and take out generations of young men and women who might grow up to serve in the United States military or become a cop or become a teacher? And that's what they're doing when you wipe out tens of thousands of Americans a year. It's a long-term plan for them.
Oh, that is such a dark, dark thing.
It is, but we're on it. Up the price to exorbitant amounts of money. They're not making a ton of money. And so it's an all-of-government approach. So I'm working with guys like the Secretary of Treasury to do sanctions on some of these companies, right? Then I'm working with our Five Eyes partners. And our Five Eyes are the 5 English-speaking countries in the world, Canada, America, England, New Zealand, and Australia, right? We share intelligence. We share classified intelligence on this stuff. So I'm asking them, I said, hey, it's not just affecting us. It will affect you and your population. The CCP just hasn't directed it at you yet. And they know that. And I said, guys, I need your help. I'm looking at intelligence reporting that shows fentanyl precursors are now in your country. The fentanyl itself isn't being deployed into your country, but it's there being manufactured. And so I'm asking for their help to shut down those factories and production facilities. And I'm asking the Mexican government's help to come and say, hey, your drug trafficking organizations are now exporting the manufacturing of fentanyl and getting creative in the ways in which they obtain fentanyl precursors. So they'll say, oh, we didn't get it from China. We got it from India. We got it from, wherever. And it's too cute by half. It's not like there's been a reduction in the amount of fentanyl precursors that mainland China produces. What there has been a reduction in is President Trump's administration's aggressive approach to just crush the fentanyl trafficking. And unfortunately, our adversaries adapt. We're so good down south on the border here, and we're so good in Mexico that they're moving it elsewhere.